This is Renata Burris of GetRelationshipsRight.com. And this video is part 2 of a video series I'm doing on how to change yourself. So what we talked about in the first video was how people go about change, how they use willpower, or sometimes people will also use momentum to try to implement change in their life, and how people generally think they are not changeable, that they are stable, that the way they view relationships, the way they react emotionally, the way they live their life outside of certain areas, such as perhaps earning money, education, or managing money, are not changeable. So what I have said is that you can change your life. You can change anything about yourself that you would like. Your weight, your hair color, of course, but also your emotional reactions, how you think, how you feel in relationships, how you relate, whether you react with anger or love, or anything else you'd like to change, you can change it. So here are the steps in this video. This is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to outline for you the steps for change. Step 1, understand that you as human beings are infinitely changeable and malleable, even if you don't think you are. Understand that you can change anything and everything from your emotions to your reactions to how you live your life. So that's step 1. Step 2, find out or figure out what it is you want to change. If you could change anything about yourself, and you can, what would you like to change? Write it down. I would like to change that I attract a particular kind of person. I would like to change that I avoid confrontations. I would like to change that I, whatever it is for you, right? But figure out what it is you want instead. If you had a magic wand, you can wave it over yourself, change yourself in any way that you want. What would you be doing instead? Write that down. Next, take a look at what you're doing now and the cost to you. In other words, because you react emotionally in particular ways, or because you behave in particular ways, what is the cost to your life? What ends up happening as a result? You want to write down as many things as you can think of so that it really brings home to you that you don't get what you want and you get lots of what you don't want, so long as you keep doing what you're doing. And this may not be comfortable and you may not like it, but this is a necessary step. Step number 4, write down what you will get. What will your life be like if you change in the way that you want to change, and you start behaving or feeling or thinking or doing the things that you actually want to be doing? What will you have? Write down as many things as you can think of, positive things that will happen in your life because you will have changed. And then step number 5, which is where you might want to get assistance from a coach, such as myself. Step number 5, figure out what actions, whether they are physical actions or more emotional actions, what do you need to do in order to change? So change is possible, right? But for example, here's what I mean. If you are someone that reacts in anger when you are pushed, what steps would you need to take instead? That's what I mean. What would a person do when they feel anger but they don't want to react? Now, the reason you may want to get help on this step is because it's very hard to step outside of ourselves. We know what we know, and we don't know what we don't know. So if you, for example, are someone who reacts with anger when you are pushed, you may not know what people generally do if they don't want to react. You may not know, for example, that you can feel anger and take deep breaths. You can feel anger but have a rule that you step outside for 10 minutes. For example, I mean, there are many ways to deal with anger. So that's where you want to go to a professional, like a coach or perhaps a therapist, but you can certainly come to me and I will help you with this, is how do you create the results you want instead? What are the specific steps that will create different results for you? So once you write down these steps, step number 6 is for you to practice the new behavior. And this again is where you may want to get support, because it's hard to implement new behavior. It's hard to consistently do something new when you don't yet have it. But when you have support, you can have support to help you implement, but also to help you fine-tune the new behavior so that you continue to get more of what you want and less of what you don't want. But basically, those 6 steps are the steps for implementing change. And I know in coaching, I've been working with clients for 14 years now. This is really all we do when people come to me and they say, you know, I feel angry or frustrated or hurt, or I attach to people too easily, or I choose the wrong partners and I want to change that. These are the steps we go about. We figure out what the person is doing and why they don't want to keep doing it, what it is they want and why is it they want it, what are the steps that will lead them there, and then we practice and we practice and we practice and we fine-tune until we finally come up with the behaviors and the attitudes and the beliefs and the emotions that start to produce different results for people. So there you go. You are changeable. You can have what you want so long as you are willing to believe that you're changeable and you are willing to take the steps necessary for change. And if you want my support and help, I am certainly available to help you change anything that you want to change about your relationship or single life. And this is relationship coach Renata Paris of GetRelationshipsRight.com.